Welcome back, everyone, as we are joined by Candy Panda from SK Gaming, or should I say Carry Panda, after that last game. Great game from you. Take me back to the picks and bans, because Youngbuck was saying in the preview, I think they will not try and ban out Shug, because then they kind of make it hard on themselves, but you still aimed for the junglers, so why was that?
Well, we aimed for the strong junglers, in our opinion, which was Vi and Elise. I don't think, or we don't think that Lee Sin is so impactful, so we let it open and picked Pantheon against it.
Now, let's take the game itself, because it was pretty impressive. Svensson was doing work all across the board, and you guys were also winning the bot lane. Take me through everything.
Well, in the game itself, we try to aim for a combo that can make something happen with the Jinx and the Leona. Like, normally you would pick Thresh over Leona because he's more of a lane bully, but we decided for Leona because simply she can make something happen, while Thresh is a bit harder because they have to hit the hook. So then we picked the Pantheon, the Jinx, and the Renekton is like top lane, you know, whatever. So yeah, bot lane we just picked something that can make something happen, and it worked out. Then mid game, since I was so fat, we could just rotate mid or keep diving bottom, and that's how the game played out.
You say you guys opted for Leona and bottom lane over Thresh, and it was Nif actually that went with that Thresh. Tell me a little bit about playing against Nif. You know so well in that bottom lane.
Yeah, so first of all, the Leona vs Thresh matchup, like regardless if I play with Nif or not, it's always like Leona beats Thresh at level 6 if the Leona has an AD carry that can burst, because then you can just one-shot the Thresh. So that's what happened. But on the other hand, before 6, Thresh has to deny this Leona so hard that they can keep snowballing. And then the against Nif thing, I mean, he's a great support. It's not like I can abuse something because he does everything perfect almost. He's really good, so it's not like I can say, okay, he always mispositions now, so I can go on him now. It's not like that. He's really good, so I just took it as always.
Can you maybe try to compare Nif to N-rated? Or maybe more what N-rated brings to the team, to something Nif didn't bring, or is it the same?
Yeah, so I feel like N-rated has a more aggressive style, like just in his head, like he's just like that, right? Whereas Nif has to train a lot to get into that mindset that he has to be aggressive and make plays. And I think that's like the main difference. Both of them are good, but they just have different ways to get better. And also N-rated does calls a lot. We didn't make use of it so much, but we're gonna try to do it this week.
You were talking about mindset, and also before the interview you were saying how important it was. Is that the reason why things are going so up and down now? And how do you try and get around that and just keep that clear head?
Yeah, so I feel like some games we just play good because we actually try to do something, and some games, for example, the game yesterday with Support Crew, the only calls we did the whole game was backwards calls, not forwards. So the only calls we made, like, yeah, don't go in, wait, and we just waited for something to happen. We didn't try to force it ourselves. And I think that's the main difference. And I think we don't even lack in skill or anything. We are all good players, but it's just the mindset and actually only the mindset that's really a problem for us, a big problem.
Now, if we talk about Alliance, they went 2-0 last weekend, now 0-2 this one. What do you think about Alliance? I mean, how good are they, or what are their weaknesses for them right now?
Well, I mean, it's not a secret if I tell you that they're all great players. But I mean, I don't know them. I'm not with their team practice, but they can't seem to like pull together. Maybe it's the problem that we have as well, but like the same problem that we had. But there's something in their team play not working right now, and I hope they can fix it soon, I guess.
So you guys are both kind of up and down. Where do you see that going further as the LCS goes on? Who do you think if you guys will take the upper hand? And if you guys will be able maybe to get higher in those standings?
Yeah, so we're just going to try to improve the mindset, or like force the mindset we had this game, force it in every game, that we always on the offensive and not on the defensive.
All right, so coming up next, we got Super Hot Crew versus Copenhagen Wolves. You played Super Hot Crew yesterday. How do you think this match will go?
I would give it to Copenhagen Wolves. It's going to be really close, but I feel like Super Hot Crew has problems closing our games, And since Kopmar and Wolf says they can make plays, even if they're maybe a bit behind, I think they're going to take it, even though they might fall behind early game.
Right, it's going to be an interesting matchup. And now you've been tweeting at us at LOL Esports on Twitter because earlier, of course, we asked you, who do you think will be the next champion to make their 2014 LCS debut? And here are some of the answers. The first one is from at It'sFury12. I'm thinking Kog'Maw, since he's a good matchup versus Jinx, and Rex tanks. Also, we haven't seen that ADCs don't need jumps. See Jinx. What do you think of Kog'Maw?
Well, it's true. Like, Kog'Maw can be really good versus Jinx, just as Caitlyn is good versus Jinx, because they can both outrange her while having abilities to like deny her farm, while Jinx just has the auto attack. But I think that Kog'Maw has a problem that if he gets jumped on by a Leona or an Annie, he's like,
it's over.
He's dead. There's nothing he can do. Even though he's good versus tanks, right now the Rundreens and the Thornmail is so cost effective that it doesn't even matter. So it's like you attack him, but you just get slowed, and you get like your attack speed gets slowed, your movement speed gets slowed. It doesn't even matter if he's good. So right now you need like champions that have a lot of burst, like Jinx, or you need like champions that can escape really good, like Lucian. So yeah.
No time for Kog'Maw right now. The second tweet is from @CoffeeMcSwagger. I would love to see Volibear. Pair him up with somebody like Sivir, and you can just force the fights any day of the week.
I mean, Volibear right now, as a jungler, is like a mobility. His ganking potential is not the same as, for instance, a Lee Sin with all his jumps. So Volibear he's good. I mean, he's very strong if he gets into the fights. I would actually like to see him in the top lane, where he can bully out quite of the popular top laners right now and set up some easy ganks for his jungler.
And the last tweet is from @LDMardones. Syndra, she was extremely strong in the preseason, has great laning phase, poke, and burst. Extremely strong overall.
Yeah, she's very strong, but she's also very hard to play. I mean, if you mess up the combo, you lose a lot of your damage. And at the same time, what I feel is wrong with her is the lack of mobility. So if you have a tank in your face and you're forced to use all your burst on him, you don't really do much more in the fight at that point, unless you obviously one-shot this tank. But if he's too fed, you won't really do it. So that's why I think Syndra is not played too much.
All right, well, thank you guys very much. And of course, thank all you guys at home for sending in those tweets. We'd love to hear more. Remember to follow us at LOL Esports and use the hashtag LCS to join the conversation. And